welcome to the Movie Mansion, home of the reviews, trailer breakdowns, and all things good predictions, discussions of all of your favourite TV shows and movies. Now, if you're joining me today, first of all, I just want to say thank you to episode 1, to coming here and spending your time with me. You're one of the OGs. But now, let's get into it. We're going to be talking about the latest episode of the 100. So that is season 7, episode 11, Etheria. Now, before we get started, I just want to do a quick spoiler warning. We're going to be discussing everything that happened, all the goods, all the bads, what could be happening next, because let's be honest, today was a big one. Okay, let's get into it. So, at the start of the episode, it was the big bombshell, and it happened quickly. We found out via the neural link that, this is where I'm not sure if I'm right. I think it was Nathan in the seat, but Levitt was looking at the neural link and rewinding the video, and the bombshell dropped. Which, to be honest, based on the trailers previously, we had an idea it's coming, but it's always good to get it confirmed. Bellamy was alive. Bellamy, I repeat, is alive, and he had been sucked into the anomaly. And it all happened very quickly from there. He was fighting for his life on arrival on this brand new planet. So, what did we find out? Well, to start with, Bellamy was having to fight this new guy, and later in the episode we found out his name, I think, unless I misheard, but I think his name was Dusich. Tell me in the comments if you think I'm wrong or if you know who the guy was, but one of the disciples was fighting Bellamy, and as we can expect as fans of the show, he ended up on the losing side of that one, ending up with what I'm assuming was a fractured leg, but it required some healing. But now, this new planet that we've landed on, it looked really cool. So, this new planet had pyramid-like structures that just looked amazing, and they reminded me of images we've seen of like forests in China. I don't know if anybody else has seen the images. I'll see if I can find one and put it up for you to look at. But I think that's one of the things the 100 does really, really well. Because obviously we are moving to different places, to different planets. We get to check out the scenery and everything can look amazing. Whether it's on Bardo or anywhere, there's just so much to play with. So much that the graphics team can do to make a cool looking planet. And straight on arrival, I've got to be honest, I like this one. Now where we went from there, Bellamy being Bellamy, he wanted to help this disciple out, help him heal up, because at the end of the day, you're two people stranded on a planet. You don't necessarily want to kill the only person you're going to talk to. So, while this guy, and I'm going to keep calling him this guy, just because I think I've probably got the name wrong, but while he was out cold in the cave, we had the first look at the Shepherd's Passage. And, funnily enough, the chapter that was opened up was the ascent from the cave. So, let's just deep dive into this. The Shepherd's Passage and the book, it's the equivalent of the Bible for the shepherd. So, that was the first interaction that we had in this episode with Bellamy and the religion of the shepherd, let's call it, or the shepherd's way. But it is the main theme of this episode. And obviously, in the ascent from the cave, in this book that was being read by Bell, we found out that the shepherd could well have been here, which was soon confirmed when Bellamy found a photo of Bill and the family here on this remote planet in the middle of nowhere and in a cave, which was a mind-boggling moment. And it really kind of opens up the world. It reminds me of those video games you can play like Star Wars, where you get to choose which planet you're flying to. I think that's the bit I love about the anomaly. It just opens up such a wide expanse that we can all go into. But here on this one, we have found evidence that the shepherd was here. And the one bit I really, really liked was the symbolism of everything. So the ascent from the cave, and then when you're looking up at the mountain, seeing the anomaly on the top of it, it was all very kind of biblical in the way that it was being dealt with. And I just thought that was really cool, as in it's a mammoth task. You are climbing uphill. You're making that ascent. It had such a religious kind of thing to it. And I'm not a religious person, but I do like it when the story is built based on the religion of someone else, but then you're almost going through that process yourself. So, and I just want to quickly raise one point. Did anybody else think that the mountain with the anomaly on top looked like it came from Lord of the Rings, but with reverse colours. It just really reminded me the Eye of Sauron and the tower, with the fiery eye on top. But in this case, it was the green anomaly on top, and it just looked quite cool. But back to it. So, that was the other thing I really want to ask all of you guys, and feel free to comment and let me know. Did anybody think the actor of the Disciple looked a lot like the actor of Shadehader? As in the current Shadehader, the Prime. I don't know if it's just me, but they look like they could be brothers. I'll have to look into it. If somebody knows if they are related, let me know. But it's just something I was thinking from a minute ago. But back to it. So, Bell and his brand new friend started making that ascent up and up through a blizzard. And once again, Lord of the Rings symbolism. Did it not remind anyone else of the mountains of Edoras? The snow-capped mountains where there was Saruman making all the snowfall. And it just looked really similar in that kind of going up, wasn't able to do it, having to hide in the cave. But this new disciple, rather than leaving Bell out when he passed out, helped him, saved him, which is brilliant. But it brings us to the most interesting bit, and to be honest, one of the, I'd say, 2 or 3 main bits that I really want to talk about, and that is the celestial lights. So did anybody else find it really cool in the cave where there was these almost like angel-like figures with their arms out to the sky of pure light? And I'm just wondering, what are they? Because the episode didn't really give much away, and it did lead to a supernatural experience of Bellamy seeing his mum again and talking to her. Could it be, I'm just coming out with ideas, could it be some kind of alien plant which glows and makes you hallucinogenic? Is it hallucinogenic? Could it actually be that the religion is true? Could the shepherd's religion be the truth? I don't know. And to be honest, this episode did not give much away on it, but it led to the biggest shock at the end. But before we get to the end, let's just talk about the final bit of the climb, the one bit which, I have to be honest, was quite cool. The running jump, the leap of faith into the anomaly. So we talked about the whole idea of the shepherd's religion and everything being quite symbolic, but it was that final leap of faith based on the shepherd that if you jump off, you'll go through the anomaly. And it happened. Bell survived, the disciple survived, but it led to the game changer at the end. So during the whole build-up, Bellamy had spoken to his deceased mum. He had seen the shepherd in his mind. He had entered a different place when he sang the shepherd's prayers. And when he prayed and jumped off that mountain, he ended up back on Bardo. So by this point, he was a believer. And so Clark didn't realize, but she made the ultimate mistake. And that was telling him that she didn't have the flame. And what a mic drop moment that came after that. When Clark let Bellamy know the only reason they're alive, the only reason they're safe, is because everyone thinks she has the flame. And what did Bellamy do? Well, the look on everyone's face in this picture gives a lot away. He betrayed Clark, he betrayed Octavia, he betrayed everyone and told the shepherd that the flame was destroyed. Now that was, I've got to be honest, at that moment, that was almost like a soap opera moment where it's a cliffhanger on the end and it's just, what is going on? Why would he betray them on something so big? And I don't know what to think, in the sense, I know when Echo and Octavia, they were playing dumb and pretending to join the shepherd's mission in order to try and just find the best way forward. You kind of had an inkling that was going to happen, but this came out of nowhere. Because to betray his sister, to betray Clark, that is huge. And I don't know what's going to happen there, because we haven't got that many episodes left. So where do we go from here? Everybody could be on death row now. How is everybody back at home going to know what's going on? And we've got the whole side story with Shadehader and everything going on. It is ending up being one giant climactic finale in these final episodes. And I've got to be honest, I cannot wait. Does anybody have any predictions on what's going to happen? Because to be honest, I'm super stoked that Belle was alive. That was great. And even though we saw it coming with the trailer, the fact it was confirmed and the way it was confirmed and the way the story went in a different direction, that he betrayed all the people he cares about And I think the bit that makes it most exciting is we haven't got long left in the series. So there's not a massive amount of time left for it to go in a wide range of directions. Either he is betraying those he cares about, or there's a grander plan behind it. In which case, what is it? It's super exciting. I don't know what's going to happen. And I think this has got to be one of the, I'd say, slow episodes in terms of the 100, but one of the better episodes in terms of game changing. Because it's just, even though it told a very progressive story, it showed exactly what's been happening to Belle in that missing time. It was that last right at the end. First of all, those celestial beings of light, and then right at the end, betraying the people he cares about. That's a game changer, no matter what way you look at it. Out of all the characters involved in this show, Belle has always been one of the most loyal ones. So for him to turn like that is huge. But I want to know what you think on it. So put it in the comments. Where do you think we're going to go now? What's going to happen next? Is he bluffing? I want to know your thoughts on this. And just before I go, I want to say thank you one more time for being here on day one, being part of the OG crew who joined us. You could call us one crew, technically. So welcome and thank you for being part of one crew. If you enjoyed just listening to an excited person talking about the 100, give us a like, give us a subscribe. And just so you get an idea of what kind of things I'll be covering in future, it'll be things like The Walking Dead, the Orville, Fear the Walking Dead, Picard, Marvel movies with trailer breakdowns of those, anything exciting, Rick and Morty sometimes, Ozark, Vikings, Stranger Things, Peaky Blinders. So if you're interested in those same kind of shows, or if you've got a suggestion of any shows that I haven't seen or had a look at yet, put them down in the comments below. Help me mold this in a way that you enjoy as well. Let's mold this channel together and let's take it forward, and hopefully we can just build a community of people who enjoy really good shows and really cool movies and stuff. But once again, thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.